to, I think we tried somebody's suggestion. I don't remember who that
It was Sally.
Okay. To have our phone going the other way because we were having that mirrored issue the last couple of episodes. So
Yeah.
So Corey's gonna try to keep up with comments on his phone and turn the volume down or off on his phone. So yeah, I think we're in the frame and we're live. So let's do our little cheers
good.
thing. We're a little delayed on here. So welcome to Let's Talk Books, Unscripted.
Unscripted live.
We need to be better about doing that right at the beginning.
I know, we really do.
Let's see, we always talk about what we're drinking first, I guess. I'm drinking a bubbler, which is maybe a bad choice at this hour, but you know, it's not as much as an energy drink. We have a funny story about that. Unrelated to books. Yeah. But I needed a little pick-me-up, and I'd like to I'm trying to intentionally stay up late enough to finish a book by tomorrow. So we will see if that happens. It publishes tomorrow. So I wanted to be able to finish it by then.
That's true.
Should I tell our funny caffeine story?
You should.
So almost a couple weeks ago now, we serve with the youth group at our church, and we were both feeling a little sluggish on a Wednesday. And so I don't think we didn't have any energy drinks in the house, and we don't always keep them in the house, but like for a little while I was on an energy drink kick and probably having them a little too much. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll run to the gas station and get ourselves a couple Celsius drinks. I don't know if you've ever had a Celsius drink before, but it has a lot of caffeine in it. And we started drinking those like at about 6 p.m. I was still finishing mine like at 7, like while we were at church with the students. And yeah, let's just say we both were up way too late. Like way too late. Like past 1 o'clock in the morning late.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So it was a bad call.
I usually don't get affected by caffeine.
That was too much.
I mean, this will be fine. And I was like 1:15 still like rolling around in bed.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. So we won't be doing that.
I can't have energy. Yeah.
Especially not that.
I just shouldn't have energy drinks at all.
Yeah. Period.
Coffee's fine, but
energy drink.
That was a new one.
So
I drink. What am I drinking? San Pellegrino. Orange.
That one's good.
What is this? Is this orange?
I don't know.
Orange and pomegranate.
Okay. I was like,
these are
something
pretty
else. Yeah, I like that flavor.
These are pretty good. There's a little more flavor.
I also have a water chaser.
Very large. Very large water. But yeah, we got some big news today. So we ordered our Aardvark books from the book club. So Katie's came on Saturday.
Yes.
Just her box. We ordered them the same day.
Yes.
So her box came Saturday, which was great for her, but sad for me. And then mine, we were hoping mine would show
all
up.
Our books.
I know, but you know, you said your name on it.
Yes, that's true.
And then we were hoping mine would come today so we could show them off in the live, and they came.
Yes. So now we can show all of them, because we didn't have any of them for Fridays. Because we film beer and books on Friday nights and then post it sometime on Saturday. So it's like by the time I posted it, I did have the first 3 books, but we did not have them on Friday to show them then. So now we'll be able to show all 6 of them.
But anyone who's tuning in live, say hi in the chat. I want to make sure the chat's working
Let us
on
know.
my phone here. But
Maybe I won't put them all on my lap.
How's everyone doing? We got 7 inches of snow on Saturday. We had an unusually dry January for snow in Wisconsin, but we got 7 inches on Saturday, and it looks like we got a bunch of snow chances this week.
Yeah.
So
as long as it doesn't snow on Saturday, we are going out of town with my siblings.
The snow is flying.
So we want to have safe travels on Saturday. We're driving like a couple hours away from here to stay in an Airbnb with my siblings and their wives. So that will be fun. But so if it wants to snow before that, that's okay, I guess. But we already got a ton, so we don't really need more.
I don't need more. No.
But yeah, we will dive into our aardvark books. Does it look like anybody is saying anything? Of course, I can't see because, you know, my phone is switched around, so I can't see any comments.
Nothing yet.
Okay.
But that's alright.
Well, you are going to want to talk about this one, so I won't talk about that one.
Why don't we we'll touch real quick on the book club book.
Oh, okay.
That's always a must, because I just started it like before we came on here live. So we're both obviously gonna be reading this.
Mm-hmm.
Katie left herself a note to start reading it on the 13th.
Thursday, for sure.
On Thursday.
So.
She'll give herself 10 days to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving myself, 13 days to read it.
A little more.
But I'm already realizing it's gonna be a pretty quick read.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I'm already kind of intrigued by it.
Mm-hmm.
But, so there's still time to join on the book club if you want to. We're meeting on the 23rd on Google Meet.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about this book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That'll be fun.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. I guess I could have shown it. But I have an in-person book club too. I know I've talked about that before. And I just started that book last night. It's not over here. But it's called This Cursed House. So we were doing that one for my in-person book club. And that one meets a couple days before the virtual one. So yeah, that one I did start last night, but I didn't get very far in yet. I started reading it during the Super Bowl, and I was like a little bit distracted.
Yeah.
So, and it was late, and we had a very busy day yesterday, so I was pretty tired and couldn't get very far in. But I'm excited to get further into it.
Nicole said, "Hi, your camera isn't reversed today." What's that?
Yep.
Well, thick.
Because because I have my phone flipped around.
Yeah, we flipped
so
it around.
we had to do that, so we can't see ourselves right now.
Yeah.
Corey can on his
so
phone.
I'm gonna keep up on the chat on my phone, but yeah,
yes, that's what we had to do.
we're gonna try to get a hold of YouTube tomorrow and be like, what's going on with this?
Yeah, because it just randomly did that to us. 2 episodes. So for 2 episodes, it was doing that, and we don't know why.
So this is our 46th episode, and the first 44 episodes are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the last couple, something happened, but we're gonna try to get a hold of YouTube tomorrow and have them fix that because it's kind of annoying.
Well, and because we were discussing how it doesn't do that when we record a video and then post it later. It's only happening when we're going live. So I'm really not sure. I don't think it's a setting on my phone because it's doing it correctly. For when we just record something and then post it later.
Yeah.
But during the live format. So I almost think it might be a YouTube situation. So yes, we are gonna contact them and see how far we get with that, and hopefully we can resolve it so that we can go back to what we were doing before.
And anyone wondering, I did shave my beard. And
that's something different too.
I got a lot of comments at church yesterday about it, and it looks weird. I agree. It looks kind of weird, but
It looks weird with it all. We also got comments on matching. We were matching yesterday at church. We did not do that on purpose, but got plenty of comments about that too.
I thought it looked great.
All right, so we talked about book club, and now we should dive into our aardvark books.
So we're gonna show our aardvark
we have
books.
6 of them.
Yeah.
So I guess I can start with the one that I did pull up onto my lap, which I think has the most stunning cover. I mean, if I had to pick out of the 6 books that we got, I feel like it is my favorite cover. It's so pretty. It's called Junie by Erin Crosby Eckstein. And this book actually is the current GMA pick as well, I believe. So yeah, just look at how stunning that is. And because I feel like we always have to do this with our aardvark books, we got to see what it looks like, without the dust jacket on. And this color combo is really, really pretty. But this book, it says a young girl must face a life-altering decision after awakening her sister's ghost, navigating truths about love, friendship, and power as the Civil War looms. I really, really wanted to just dive into this one right away, but because I'm reading a different book that I think has similar aspects to it, This Cursed House, I think I'm gonna have to wait. And another book that I wanted to read this month too is The Reformatory, which I also have from Aardvark. And that one has the similar undertones of it is a horror novel with the whole ghost element and everything, but also touches on racism for sure, and it's historical fiction. So yeah, I feel like these would all be almost too similar to where I'm gonna have to spread them out. I know the stories are still going to be different, but
Or you just
some of the themes
go
would be,
for it. Yeah.
would be similar. But either way, like if this doesn't get read in February, I want to read it really soon. This one's just like sucking me in. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
And I just cannot get over how pretty the cover is on this one. That one's called Junie.
Very nice.
I know you're really excited about that one.
So my more anticipated book from Aardvark is, I don't know. I feel like if there's gonna be a book written for like all the things I'm into, it'd be this book. It's called Dead Money by Jacob Kerr. So they're calling this a Silicon Valley thriller. So it's kind of a whodunit mystery, but it ends up the person who they're investigating into was a big tech guru, and he's leaving behind all this dead money that has nowhere to go. And so the lawyer on the case is trying to help them out, but she also has like an agenda, and apparently it's very, very twisty at the end.
It looks good.
Yeah.
And I would like to read
it
it
looks
too.
so
I know
good.
you're even more excited.
So now that like it's such a, Katie said the same thing, but like we're getting these new books from Aardvark, and it's like it's ruining our plans. Like it's altering our plans for what we want to read next. And
it's
that's one of the bummers with getting new books. I mean, it's not a bummer to get new books, but like when you get them, you want to read them right away. So now I'm thinking like,
now you want to put your other reading on hold for that one.
like I want to do that, but will I do that? Maybe. But I'm really, really looking forward to this one, and I couldn't wait for it to come because I think it's just gonna be like exactly all the things I'm into. You got thriller, mystery, money. Silicon Valley, and little detective action with a long list of suspects. So I don't know.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I mean the reviews I've seen already are really, really high up. So people are really enjoying this book. So definitely check this one out. We gotta show it.
Oh yeah, every single book we gotta show.
Yeah, this one actually I was a little surprised what it looked like underneath.
I know, I thought for sure they would like put green in there, just like they
a
have
lot
on the
of
cover. It's just all red.
red on red
different
on red.
reds.
And you can kind of see on the bottom the D are like bleeding a little bit.
I think it is on the front too, isn't it? Or no, it's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
It's dripping from a couple of the letters.
Oh, Carly said hi. Hey, Carly.
Hey, Carly. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm keeping up on the chat on my phone. But yeah. So stay tuned for this one. If you see me starting it soon, it's
You couldn't wait.
Just
don't question it.
Don't say anything to me about it. Just pretend like it's normal.
He takes after me. I'm teaching him bad things.
New shiny books just come in.
This one also has an incredible cover, and it sounds really, really interesting. I feel like this one might not be high up on my TBR, but I'm definitely interested in it. But it is a genre that we both don't gravitate towards as much. This is sci-fi. This is called Death of the Author, and I really don't want to botch her name. I'm gonna go with Needy
Okafor,
something like that. Let's see. I wish there was like a pronunciation guide in the back.
I like to say
for ones that are a little bit more difficult.
Correctly.
But here is the lovely author on this one, and then this is what the book looks like. So, Death of the Author. The future of storytelling is here. In this exhilarating tale by New York Times bestselling and award-winning author, I'm not going to try to say her name again, a disabled Nigerian-American woman pens a wildly successful sci-fi novel, but as her fame rises, she loses control of the narrative, a surprisingly cutting yet heartfelt drama about art and love, identity and connection, and ultimately what makes us human. This is a story unlike anything you've read before. So it's almost like a novel inside a novel.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it seems like to me. Inception, like the concept
It's
of
a book within a book.
Yes.
It's bookception.
Yes, bookception. But yeah, again, stunning cover. I have to show you what it looks like without the dust jacket. Pretty cool. Yeah.
We got Anju SG said hello. And so did Maria.
Okay, hello. Thanks for
guys.
joining
Yeah,
us.
thanks for tuning in. We're going over Aardvark books, which I mean, is one of the highlights of the month when they come. And now we're both getting boxes every month. So we're going to be getting 6 months. We get 6 books total.
We get all 6. Like if we want, we can get all the new picks every single month. Or we can pick books from past months that we maybe didn't, or that we passed on a particular month and do them as add-ons. But basically, we can get any 6 books
so
that
we're
we want
6
every
books.
month.
Yeah.
So
Maria said she has the same book. Looks like Death of the Author.
Yeah, it looks really, really
that
good.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, that's why we had to clear some room on our bookshelf because we're anticipating a lot of books coming. I mean, we're gonna maybe one day have a whole bookshelf just dedicated to aardvark, which is the goal.
Well, and we have, a small section of a shelf dedicated to the ones that we've read upstairs, or at least that I've read most of them.
Andrew said, I got another book by the same author on my TBR. It's called Binti.
Okay,
cool.
I've not heard of that one before.
Thanks,
I'll have to go check that out. That's one of the things I love about aardvark in general is that I'm hearing of a bunch of authors that I had never heard of before. So I think like they just do a really good job, bringing to light lots of authors that maybe aren't otherwise as well known.
Yeah, they're really good at that, and also just emphasizing debut novels too, to help authors get on their feet and
and their books are incredibly diverse, as you're already seeing right now. So they have wonderful representation that way. You went in that.
So my next book, so all of our books but this one were from Aardvark's February picks.
February one specifically.
There was one we didn't select this month.
It's a vampire. I'm trying to think of what else it would be considered. It is LGBTQIA plus friendly, and I believe it falls into. I'm trying to think of what category it would fall into. Horror, maybe. What is it? And I'm blanking on the name of it. I should know the name of
Hungerstone.
Yeah, I think it's just. I don't think it's the Hungerstone. I think it's Hungerstone.
Hungerstone.
And it does look really interesting, but it's like a vampire book. I want to say it's set in the past too. I need to read up more about it because I always want to know about their books, even if they're not necessarily ones that I would choose for myself, but just because other people might. I think it might be one I'll add to a box at some point. But Corey decided on a different one from a previous month.
We got a comment from Cassie. She said, "Good evening. I finished Bookshops and Bone Dust. Awesome. And now reading The Stolen Queen."
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I really need to go back and read the rest of Legends and Lattes. I got into it and I felt like it was a little bit slow for my taste, but I would like to revisit it. So have you read that one, or did you do what is it called?
Bookshops and
Bone Dust first? Because I heard some people said they did that because it was actually a prequel.
Oh, really?
But no, I started Legends and Lattes and then I let my sister-in-law borrow it. So I'll get back to it.
Does she still
eventually?
Have it?
Yeah, she still has it. Unless she lent it to somebody else without my permission. But no, she has not given it back to me yet. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, so the one book I'm going to show you, this is a previous pick. It is still available with Aardvark if you want to pick it up as well. But this is one that...
I don't remember how many months ago that one was a pick. I just don't remember.
It is called The Dream Catchers.
Builders.
The
Dream cat. Hey, I mean, I would say unless that thing looked like a dream catcher.
Sorry, I misspoke. The Dream Builders. So, I'm speaking of names I cannot pronounce. I'm just not even going to try it, but yes. This book sounds really interesting and very outside of my normal genre. I think it probably might have a little bit of fantasy element to it as well.
Is there like a short blurb about it or not really?
Yeah. And the one thing that I highlighted to Katie earlier is it's actually told from the perspectives of 10 characters, which I think sounds interesting. Hopefully I can follow all the characters very well. But so this is a debut novel for her.
You gotta show what it looks like.
Yeah, this one's very nice.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Carly said, which what book comes first, Legends of Lattes?
So Legends and Lattes was written first.
Yeah, and then Cassie said
Mm-hmm.
Bookshops of Bone Dust is the prequel.
Yes, it's a prequel, but it was written after.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one is awesome.
It reminds me of like a watermelon.
That's what I was gonna think.
Like watermelon colors.
It's like
And
you
it's very
never
pretty.
know what's gonna be underneath the
Like,
dust
surprise!
jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Katie took a picture of all 6 of these books on the floor for
without the dust
Instagram.
jacket. So if you
It
haven't
looks
checked
so
out,
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew said, in order of publishing lattes, but bookshelf is chronologically first.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for this one. I picked this one just because it is different. That's why I love Aardvark. They're opening our eyes to different genres and different books, different authors,
Mhm.
and all the books I've read from them I've liked so far.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
check it out. The
Yes.
Dream Builders with the peacock book, not catchers. That's a whole different
That's
thing.
a whole different thing.
Yeah.
The next one is called Good Girl by Aria. We're gonna go with Aria Aber, winner of the Whiting Award. I've never heard of the Whiting Award before. Kaleidoscopic, full of style and soul.
It's a good word.
So this is what the cover looks like on this one. The little description here. An electric debut novel about the daughter of Afghan refugees and her year of self-discovery. A stunning coming-of-age story and a portrait of the artist as a young woman set in a Berlin that can't escape its history. A girl can get in almost anywhere, even if she can't get out. And this author, I was like kind of reading up on the books earlier, after these ones came in the mail today. It says that this author was born and raised in Germany and now lives in the United States. So I just think it's cool how oftentimes authors will, draw from their own personal lives or like where they're from and set a book in that, or like in that setting, in that place. My brother is actually an author. He's written a few books himself, and he's kind of drawn on some of his experiences or their travels, like to really inspire his writing, or some of his books. So I know not all authors do that, or they'll maybe draw from somebody else in their life, their experience or something. But that's kind of cool. When I like flip to the back and read about the author, I'm like, oh, okay. This one looks really interesting. A story of love and family, raves and Kafka, staying up all night and surviving the mistakes of youth. Good Girl is the virtuosic debut novel by a celebrated young poet and now a major new voice in fiction. Okay, so she did poetry. And this one's really cool too.
Very nice.
Yes. I mean, they all are.
Yeah. All right, so Andrew asked if these books we're planning on reading this month or just 2025 TBR in general.
I can tell you right now definitively that I will not read all of these books this month because I do have other books that I'm currently working my way through, and
I
have wanted to prioritize for this month.
These will enter the TBR.
But I would say
I think the first one I'll read from this book, the stack, is definitely this one, Dead Money, since I'm so excited about it.
My first one from all of these would be, in case you weren't on earlier when I talked about this one, but is Junie. I think that'll be my first read.
Yeah.
But also I'm pretty excited about the one that I'm about ready to grab right here. That would be the last one, and it's really nice and short too. So it's tempting to just like start it really soon because it's a rom-com. It's a love story, and it's it's still the month of love right now, February.
Every month is love month.
I know, so I can read it anytime. This one's called Flirting with Disaster. It has such a fun cover too. And this is not a debut novel. She is the nationally best-selling author of Say You'll Be Mine, so I'll definitely want to go back and check that one out too. This is by Naina Kumar, and this is the cover for this one. Let's see. Oh, this is a really long. It doesn't have a shortened description. I can read part of it. It's been years since Mina separated from her husband, Nikhil. Years since they first laid eyes on each other in their home state of Texas. Years since they spontaneously wed in Las Vegas and she felt true happiness. now a high-powered lawyer on Capitol Hill and ready to move on, at least she thinks so, with another successful lawyer. Shake, maybe is how you say that? Mina has returned to Texas, this time finally to obtain a divorce. But we'll see if that actually happens. So I've heard people comparing this to like the movie Sweet Home Alabama, if you've seen that movie, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
So I think it has like a similar premise. So it's like a second chance romance.
Mhm.
Kind of been into that lately.
No, that is a good storyline.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the best-selling author of so this is her second novel. She lives in Texas close to her family, whose antics provide endless inspiration. Do we have a comment that you were seeing? No?
Yeah, a couple
Checking?
comments, yeah.
Okay.
So Maria said she just started our book club book.
Awesome.
She is 6 chapters in and so fascinated with it.
Good.
Yeah. So that's this book here, if anyone has missed it, The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks. So this is one we'll both be reading this month.
Yes, that is the one
It's
that
not-
we will read, not hopefully we'll read.
It's not, not a hopeful, it's a mustful.
Yes,
So
or
we-
as he was saying, donefuls.
No, it's not a donefull till you finish it.
Right, but I mean,
This is-
it will be a donefull.
Yeah. So yeah, I just started it before we started this live. I made it like on page 10, but yeah, I can see what you mean. It's gonna be a quick read. Very
Yeah,
fascinating,
I'm
and you gotta love a book about books.
Yeah.
You know, like this is a book
Neat
for readers.
Book about books. Sign me
Any
up.
book about
Mhm.
books.
Mhm.
And Andrew asked what is on our February TBR.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
When did we talk about that?
we might have to direct you to a video we did.
Mhm.
If you watch our beer and books series,
Mhm.
if you go on episode 5,
Mhm.
at the beginning of the month, we talked about our February hopefuls.
Yeah, mine is
And-
out of control.
And the thing about our February hopefuls is it changes a lot. And we were
It's
saying,
very subjective. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, I mean it's
especially
yeah.
it's we talk about it. It's like we like doing the hopefuls because it's fun.
It's just kind of fun.
And it's good
fun to
content
dream.
to do. But we're so bad at following.
Yeah,
Plans.
We're both mood readers, and I always just like set too high of expectations for myself. Like, yes, I am a fast reader, and yes, I do read
Yeah.
I have the ability to read a lot of books in a month. But I also do audiobooks, so that adds to my total. It's not like I read 10 physical books in 1 month. Like,
Yeah.
there's always like a couple thrown in there that are audio, or there's some that were carried through from a previous month, but then as long as I mark it read, sometime in the current month, then it counts, for towards that particular month. But yeah, it's like I just have so many books that I want to read that I just
Mhm.
decide to put them into a month and be like, oh yeah, it'd be great if I read these this month.
Yeah.
When like I know full well that it's only going to be some of them, and that's okay.
Yeah. That's yeah. And she asked if we're doing. She knows some people do a month of romance for February,
Okay.
like only romance.
No, I love a good romance book, but even in February, I don't stick strictly to romance, because I guess I do read it all throughout the year, so I don't just put it in one month. And I also really like to focus on Black History Month for February personally, so I have a couple different books, with
Yeah.
Black authors and Black stories, so I like to do that. So I kind of have a mix going for me personally for February, and then I even have just a couple random books thrown in there
Yeah.
too. Like I finished The Housemaid recently. That was like a good, easy popcorn thriller that I got through pretty fast, and that one was really good. I understand the hype around that,
Yeah.
because I know it came out however many years ago now. And then there's like 2 more books, and a novella in there too. So I'm a little late to the game on that one, but I see why people enjoy that series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We kind of just read what we're feeling in the
Mhm.
moment,
Yeah.
and there'll be times where I'm deciding which book to read next, and like it's just like whatever one's kind of sparking my interest at that very moment, you know.
Yep.
So that's why we're so bad at deciding what we're going to read ahead of time, because it changes a lot, and we've been doing better.
Mhm.
I've been saying we're doing better at sticking to our plan,
Mhm.
at least somewhat. But for the most part, it's very random, and it's all based on feeling and mood.
Outside of book club choices, because those
Yes.
are ones that I do stay. I stay up on those. I make sure I'm for sure reading those.
Yeah.
And for you, it's only one most months. There are months here and there that he will join in for my in-person book club. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I'm staying up on 2 different book clubs every month.
Yeah, I don't think I could handle that. I don't think I can handle that.
But the only way I am able to do that is because I don't just attend the book clubs, I run them. So I have a bigger say in what we're reading. If it were where I was attending someone else's book club and I had less of a say in what the book actually was, I'd probably have a hard time.
That'd be more hard.
Like having somebody else tell me what I'm supposed to be reading.
Yeah.
So Nicole, if you're still watching, for example, I appreciate you going with it and, you know, being a part of our virtual book club and reading what we're choosing.
Maria too, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, our book club, I think, has about 70 members in it now. Which is
in the chat.
In the chat, like a part of the club, you know, and obviously they're not all coming to the actual
face-to-face
Google meet up, but we do have 70 people in our chat for our book club page, which is pretty crazy. Like that's pretty fun. And there's days where it's super active on the chat, like we're just talking about books or whatever, or sending memes, all that good stuff. So that if you want to join in, let us know, because it's, you know,
it's like a fun group.
It's just a little, it's got a little,
pretty big.
It's a large group, But yeah, so
that's
check it.
That's February.
Check it. Yeah, and since we buy a lot of books, and now we're getting a lot of books from Aardvark, so it's hard to just focus on a list of books to read.
Yep.
It's a real struggle.
Man, kudos to people who can do that though on a regular basis, like that make a plan and stick to it, and like really try to read what's on their shelves and discipline themselves not to buy a lot more books.
Nicole said, I'm still here. I actually haven't decided if I'm reading this month's book. Laughing face emoji. Okay. I'm trying to finish The Shining. Ooh, Stephen King.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that for your book of love month? This is good.
Yeah, see? So, I mean, not everybody, it's not for everybody. Sometimes romance in general is just not somebody's cup of tea.
Carly said she wanted to try the book club this month, but I'm away when you guys meet this month.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't find the book yesterday when I was looking for it.
Oh, bummer.
Okay. You should try to join in for March.
Yeah, if you like thrillers, we are doing a thriller for
our March book. Looks really good. We don't have it near us.
I don't have it near us, no.
But
but
we'll show it soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Start hyping that one soon too. But yeah, I've had this sitting here awkwardly this whole time. I do want to show it to you without the dust jacket on. So there's that one.
Yeah.
We gotta show all of them. But that's all the Aardvark books.
Yeah, so those are the 6 books we got. So we're very excited about them. So 5 of them were from February's picks, and then the Dream Builders is a previous month's picks.
I honestly don't remember when that one was a pick.
So if you want to try Aardvark, any of the 5 books that we showed from February, you could get with our code for only $4.
And then if you wanted to add anything else on, because you can get 3 books at the most in a box. We're just lucky because we work with them, so we get to. We're still adding, right? He's doing 3 and I'm doing 3, but we can collectively get 6 between the 2 of us. But that's their max right now. They're still like a newer-ish company, so I could see them eventually having big enough boxes to where you could get all 6 of them if you wanted.
That'd be crazy.
I obviously can't say that with full certainty. I don't know that, but hopefully that's an option someday.
Yeah.
That they're getting big enough, or that they would just decide to offer that. That would be pretty cool because there have been, before he started officially getting his own box, which was literally just for starting this month.
My first box.
Which that's exciting.
First box.
He got his name on it, even though, like I said, all these books are, in our home, are both of our, they're our books.
But she couldn't open it without me.
I know, I was like, but technically I couldn't dive into it, even though I really wanted to. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, again, I think that they could eventually let you pick all six.
Pick all six.
Which would be great. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. That yeah, there have been plenty of months prior to him like getting his own box where I've like wanted all six of them and have been really sad that I can't add all six of them, because he even said that about the one that's on the floor here, the Dream Builders, and he's like, you didn't have that one on your radar, or you didn't want that one? I'm like, I'm sure I wanted it, but like you're like maxed out at, at 3, or there's been months where we were trying to save money, so I didn't max out my box, so I only got 1 or only got 2 or whatever, but yeah, there's been months where like all 6 of them are just stellar choices, so it's really hard to decide.
So check them out. The books are so good.
Yeah, the quality is incredible.
$4 for a nice hardcover, and even if you did an add-on for $9.99, that's 2 books for $15.
I was gonna say that before.
$14.
Thank you for the add-ons are only $9.99. And that's all the time. So like obviously you could try them for $4, and then in the future, something to note, if you decided to stick with them, then you're gonna pay like about $17.99 for your main pick, which I still think is an incredibly good deal for a beautiful quality hardcover book, because oftentimes you're spending about that on a paperback, actually brand new.
You're right. Yeah.
Like to try to put that into perspective, and then shipping is always free, which is incredible too. But then yes, the add-ons will always be that $9.99 price. Which again, that's incredible as well.
That's a deal.
So talk about a good deal there, yeah.
Yeah. With their silky, buttery covers. I mean, you can.
Yeah, they are. It's probably weird, but like I find myself just like absentmindedly like petting my aardvark books. You probably have seen me doing it when we've been talking here. If I'm holding one on my lap, I like do it and don't even notice sometimes that I'm doing it.
Yeah. So we are taking a little trip away, 1 night trip away this weekend with Katie's siblings.
Yep, my brothers and their wives.
And we're going to a town about 2 hours away from us. We found 2 bookstores in the town.
One is like a bookstore on wheels, which is actually what we want to start doing here. So I don't know if we'll be able to do that, because I feel like it's one that like must go to different events and stuff like that, and probably not in the dead of winter. I don't know how that's gonna work, but for sure I found one
bookstore
like, that's in an actual storefront.
One bookstore for sure. So I mean, there is a chance if it's good, we'll get a book or 2 there, just to add to the pile. We still haven't counted our books. I keep saying we need
the ones that we need to read.
So we keep our books separate. So any books that we need to read, we keep on separate bookshelves. And upstairs we have a reading nook. It's just a little room, and that's where we keep our books that we've read.
But you have not read all of those. So actually, if we're really getting into the nitty gritty of things, I personally have read every single book that's in that book nook. You haven't.
You have not, actually.
No, I think I have, because we keep them down here.
There are some that I've read that you don't want to read.
Okay, sure. Then I lied. But I would say the majority of the books in that room I have read.
Yeah, so if it's up there, one of us has read it.
Yes.
And the other one plans on not. Well, maybe.
I feel like there's some up there that maybe you would.
That's true.
Yeah. He's like checked those books out.
Our system is flawed.
It is flawed.
We have a sort of a system.
A sort of system. Yes.
We kind of keep them separate. They're not all intertwined.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we keep saying we need to count how many books we have that neither of us have
not read. Yep.
And we're guessing somewhere in the 200 to 300.
I don't know if I even have a guess, but it's a lot.
200 to 300 range. So it's kind of a lot. It is a lot of books to need to be read.
Yeah.
But we're collecting. We're collectors.
We are collectors. Yeah.
We're trying to get our own personal library of 1,000 books.
Well, we have that. We already have that, like with our children's books combined. But yes, between the 2 of us, it would be cool to reach that amount.
Correct.
But also, we just don't have the house for it, which is a bummer. We've discussed that before. That like we don't have like a. We do have the space. I should say that. Yes, we have the space, but we don't have the proper like wall, like the layout of our house. is not friendly for like giant bookshelves to be next to each other.
Correct.
That's the issue.
We have a lot of windows. We live in a very old house
Yeah.
that's almost 100 years old, which is beautiful. There's a lot of character, but there's tons of windows.
Mhm.
And you don't want to put bookshelves in front of a window. And we honestly, like, we need another bookshelf.
Mhm.
'Cause we're realizing we don't have a lot of room to put our new books. We're starting to like stack them places and like set them on flat surfaces.
To get like creative, and I don't want to put books in our basement because
Not in the
you
basement.
know, like yeah, it's a
They
place
need
to
to be
put them,
visible.
but I want people to see them. I want to be able to see them. So
So
we're gonna have to.
we need to find
we
like
have to keep
we need to
being
find a
creative.
bookshelf,
Mhm.
like, you know, just like another bookshelf to keep adding to.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
because every time we bring one with books, we gotta like reorganize and
We also have to, keep on making a dent reading them because that would also help. Because then the red ones can scoot on out of, so that we can keep, there should be like a rotation there.
that's a whole different problem. That's a whole different problem. Yeah.
Yep, reading and buying books are two different hobbies.
That's very true. Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, we've had more than one person before on Instagram be like, "Do you guys ever read your books?" Yes, we do. Thank you.
Because
Thank you for your concern.
we like to do both. You have to do both.
Yeah.
You have to keep up. I always talk about the ratio you need. You need to have a ratio of how many books you've read to how many books you haven't read. It's like 2 to 1. But the more the better. Like ours is probably, we're probably up to like a 3 to 1 ratio right now.
It's definitely more.
So we're doing pretty good. And every time you read a book, you have to buy 3 more
so
to keep up with the ratio.
Yeah,
So it's
keep up with the
never
ratio.
ending. It's a never ending amazing system
Yeah.
that just
Where are we at on time? I know we try to stick to about an hour, but
yeah. Cassie said mine are very unbalanced.
okay.
Like your ratio
Yeah.
to unread or read books.
Yeah.
I mean, buying books is just so fun.
It's just fun. There's just
And like the thing is, you're probably gonna read it sometime at some point,
eventually. Mhm.
like soon.
Sometimes I read books right away. It does happen.
Like,
where I'm very excited to get a book and
You're-
I
you're
read
ex-
it right away. I mean,
I know,
it
but
doesn't
then
happen all
but
the
then
time.
you feel so bad for your books that have just been
that I'm like in the middle of, or that have
no,
just been
the
on
ones
the
that
shelf
like have been on the
for-
shelf for two plus years.
Yeah, like that poor book.
But like if you're buying a book, you intend to read it sometime, and you might as well just get it now.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to have to buy it
Yeah.
whenever that's
I
going to
know.
be.
Yeah. You want it to be there
Yeah.
for when you are ready for it.
And you said the pretty covers get you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very true. Yeah.
And then it's okay to judge the book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
You check the cover, you read the synopsis, you get out your wallet.
Boom.
There's really no other step. There's no step forward.
Yeah. Right.
Those are the rules. Cassie said, I have a goal to read at least one of my old own physical books a month.
That's a good goal. Yep. I actually kind of set that for myself too. Like, because I had people vote in my stories on Instagram recently. I pulled, what was it, like 3 books from our room, like our
Yeah.
bedroom. That's another place that we have books. And a lot of those have been sitting there for an embarrassing amount of time. Let's just say that. And so I pulled those and I was like, oh, vote, in my stories for which one I should commit to reading. I think I said February. Yeah, I said this month. So
Yeah.
I really need to start on that one sometime soon too.
And
but
February's a short
goodness,
month
it's
too.
a short month, so
You
I
only
really
get-
set
you only get
myself up for
28 days to read.
disaster there.
It's not a leap
you know.
year either, so you're trying.
But no, I do want to start it. I have the intention to. If it doesn't happen this month, I really am going to prioritize it for like right away in March. Because it's a book that it's the Midnight Library, and I feel like tons of people have read that book. I wouldn't say everybody has liked it. I feel like that one is a book that gets kind of a lot of mixed reviews, but
Yeah.
but I'm excited to have my own take on it and see what I think. And it's a pretty short book too, so I should be able to get through it pretty quickly. And I was just like randomly flipping through it once, and the chapters seem to be pretty short as well.
That's
so
good.
that is good news.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to start doing that too, like where I just am intentional about picking like certain books that I know for sure I've had for a long time, And then I do think it's fun to involve people and ask people to vote and help me decide which one I should prioritize, which one I should read.
Yeah,
So.
I've been trying to add at least one of my oldish books to my hopefuls for the month.
Yeah.
But like we said, hopefuls. But at least I'm like attempting to fit it in
It's always good
sometime because
to make the effort.
that's the thing. Like like they're gonna be good. You know, like you got them for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andrew said she loved the Midnight Library, and she also said, I sometimes get new book anxiety, and so I keep rereading old ones.
Okay.
Any advice on how to overcome that?
Like, so you intentionally are you're a rereader? Is that what she asked?
Yes.
Okay.
Rereading like this.
I am not. I barely ever reread books, and I should, because there's been some amazing books that like I loved, and I feel like sometimes I go through little reading slumps, and maybe instead of continuing to pick up a different book when I'm not necessarily enjoying something, I should go back to one that I revisit one that I really enjoyed. I did do that in 2024, and it was like astounding for me. So that's how you know it was a book that I was obsessed with. And I feel like if anybody watching has been here for some time, you'll know what book is about ready to come out of my mouth. But my favorite book of the entire year last year was Funny Story by Emily Henry. I read it in April when it first came out, and then I reread it again in June. So the fact that I did it that quickly too said something about how much I loved the book. But yeah, so that was an interesting question, because maybe that's something that I should start to do. But you're asking like on the flip side of like how to, is it that you're worried if you pick up a new book you just won't like it as much as one of your favorites? Is that like the anxiety that you're dealing with?
She said she has reread some of her books 6 to 7 times.
Okay.
Okay. Cassie had an idea. She said try checking it out from the library first.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, it didn't cost you anything.
That's a really good.
That's a good tip.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you just have to try. Just give books a try.
Mm-hmm.
And from the library, you buy them or loan them from a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, we loan books out to people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But and especially like new genres.
Mm-hmm.
Giving new genres a try, new authors. Like that's why we like Aardvark. We keep saying because it opens our eyes to new books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a book that I maybe I'm trying to think how long I've been. I think I've been a member with them for 2 years now officially. I think it was in January, which is crazy. Time flies. So I guess I would say more than 2 years ago, a book that I wouldn't have necessarily picked up on my own. Until Aardvark brought my attention to it. So. But also, I want to say in that same vein, to not feel the pressure to try different genres either if you're happy with the genres that you like. There's nothing wrong with liking what you like. Yeah. And I think that can cause anxiety too, or you're feeling like, oh, I want to keep up with what other people are doing, or like other people read a lot of genres and I don't. That's okay. Like, it's like, stick to what you know, stick to what you like. But yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to try a different genre. But it's like, if you didn't like it, then that's okay.
Yeah, she said she has tried it from the library, but it just sits in her pile and she keeps renewing it without reading.
Okay.
And she said it's like a book slump without completely stop reading.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're still reading? Yeah. Just rereading?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, and I wish I could speak to that more, because I can't fully relate, because I'm not a big rereader. I'm just not. I'm the kind of person that's like, I see all these new things and I just gotta, I don't know what you call that. It's not new book anxiety, because I don't know.
And honestly, for me, when I start a book, I can tell very early on if I'm gonna like it or not. Mm-hmm. Like just how it's flowing. Like how it starts and how the author writes it and how easy it is to read. Yeah. So like if you start a book and you can't tell right away, I mean, maybe that's your sign to, okay, maybe it's not for me. But even if you just read a couple of chapters, you're going to realize pretty quickly if you're going to like it or not, or if it's for you.
Yeah.
because there a couple of the books I'm reading right now. They're good, but they're not like really hooking me in. And I still want to finish them because they're good, but they're just not flowing the way I like books to flow, and they're not reading as smoothly.
Yeah.
Reading's about rhythm, I think. It's about getting into the rhythm, and if it's not flowing fast, it is hard to get through. It doesn't mean it's not a great book, but
I have a hard time admitting to myself that I'm not thoroughly enjoying some of the books that I'm reading, because he'll point it out to me, and he'll like notice like certain books that have sat on our coffee table for a long time, because those are books that I'm currently reading, but that I'm taking forever to get through, and it's because I'm not as drawn to them. And so yes, I've embraced the DNF, mentality, but I still do struggle with it. And especially if it's an ARC. And for those of you who aren't familiar, because I do get asked on social media, that ARC stands for Advanced Reading Copy. So I've been really privileged to get a lot of books to read ahead of their publication date. And normally there aren't any like expectations surrounding reading ARCs, but I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself for it, because I feel like I'm letting them down if I don't read it like, in a certain time frame. No, do they expect you to have it read by the pub date always? I would say not necessarily, because I think giving a review even in like the week that it publishes or even the following week is normally a pretty good time frame. But I've definitely let it slide a couple times recently where it's like it's been longer than that and I still don't have, a couple of those books read. And so then I feel guilty. And so that's what's keeping me from not finishing, some books sometimes, because I feel this extra pressure to read it so I can get a review out, to help the publisher and the author. So that's my own thing that
I've noticed with you, and I'm realizing it a little for myself on a smaller scale, but the more books you're actively reading is saying that you're not liking some of the books you're reading.
Right, because you're starting something else.
Because like you're getting sick, you're kind of getting tired of the book you're reading. You're like, I need something new and different, and maybe something I'm gonna like more. And then you find that one, and then you just crank.
And you gravitate towards that.
And then you just crank through it.
Yeah.
So I'm a little at that point now, and I've noticed that with you for sure. And then, Carly said something good. I think giving yourself permission to not finish a book helps. I used to struggle with this, and it just increased my anxiety. Cassie said, DNF is something I firmly believe in. Don't feel bad or like a failure. Not every book is going to work for everyone. That's why we have so many different options. And Maria said she hasn't read The Midnight Library yet, but it's in her collection.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have that book. But
it's a pretty popular book.
There's too many books out there to read books you don't like.
Life is too short.
I know, and we both stink at that too. I like to finish things I start.
Yes.
Except for a home project, but like books.
I'm glad you can admit that about yourself.
I love starting home projects, but I never.
And then not finishing them. You should see our still unpainted stairwell, going down to our basement. We decided to, we had the kids go over to my mom's on a Saturday, so we did that finally to paint our back area. It's like our, it's like the back entrance to our house. It's not a mudroom. We definitely need an actual mudroom. That's a whole different story. But is where that is how we come into our house all the time. And we finally painted that back area, but then we ran out of paint. And so instead of being like normal people and going to the store soon after when that happened to get more, we just were like, oh, well, I guess we'll get to it eventually. And so we have little splotches going down to the basement, and it still needs to be finished.
I think we need to hire someone. I did say
we loathe painting as well in general. Neither one of us enjoy that.
Well, and there's a little flooring that needs to be laid. I need to put a new railing down.
We do know somebody who could help.
I did say we could probably hire someone to finish, because
should do that.
I don't know. If I'm not working, I want to be reading.
Yeah.
Not working.
Not doing home projects.
Unless it's outside.
Yeah.
Gardening. I like outside projects. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna. But yeah, we got to start working on DNFing books.
Being even better about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrew said, true. Currently, I have 5 that I have started and only got through the first few chapters. Yeah, and I think, like we were talking about at that point, maybe it's it might be time, you know, to move on, and that's the part that we all gotta get better at.
Yeah.
Because I've not. I mean, I actually did DNF a book recently. Well, we didn't say. Sometimes we don't say DNF. We just shelve it.
Yes. Sometimes it's like I might come back to this later.
Yeah, like
you know?
It's just like we're not feeling it in this moment, but we'll shelve it till later, and we may or may not ever get back to it. But we're not like giving up on it completely.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm gonna DNF a book, it's gonna leave my collection too. I feel like if we're gonna DNF a book, we don't even want it in our personal library, do we? You know?
Yeah. Probably not. Yeah.
You know, so if like we DNF it, you bring it to the little free library, then it's just done with, right?
Yeah. Or we can put it in our, our eventual bookmobile that we want to start.
You're right.
So there we go.
That's another way.
Pass it along.
But yeah, every book's not for every person. That's a good point. And that's why, don't trust reviews. Find people on social media that you trust, like us or other people. I know I have a guy that I trust that I get my reviews from, and it's like, if you like what they read, and they're suggesting a book, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Give it a whirl. But yeah, it's tough. I don't like DNFing books.
Yeah.
We gotta grow into that.
Yeah.
Especially short books. It's like, man.
DNFing a short book?
Yeah.
Oh, those are like harder for me to DNF because I'm like, it's so short. So I should be able to just finish it then.
You should be locked
I'll
in
just
right away.
push through. No, but no, shouldn't push through. You should be enjoying it, whether it's short or long or in between.
Yeah. But yeah, if Katie's got a stack of 10 books on her, she has where she keeps her books on her coffee table. If there's
it's
like a stack.
Not 10. He's over exaggerating.
There has been though.
There have not.
Including
on the coffee table, no.
Oh.
That's including kids.
10 books that you've been actively reading.
Oh, like that it would say that on my Goodreads, sure.
Yeah.
But that's like Kindle, audiobook, and physical.
But
Give me some credit.
But that's like
but that's a lot.
A telltale sign that
all at once,
a couple of those you're not
that I'm
feeling.
Not really loving and not reading as often as I'm reading like maybe some of the other ones.
Yeah. But it's alright.
Yeah.
It's alright. That's why you start a new book. If you're not liking your current book, start a new book.
And then decide if you're gonna really soldier on with those other ones or if you're gonna call it quits. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can tell, like, when you really enjoy a book, you just, like, you want to read it.
Oh, I know. And I'll tell you. That's the thing. Yeah. He knows, too, based on how much I'm talking about a book or not.
Monet Doyle said, hello.
Hello. Thanks for
tuning in. We're kind of just blabbering about...
Yeah, I guess we could probably be done soon.
DNFing books. We're almost at an hour. She said, I just started a book by the author Jewel E. Ann.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
What did you said the author, but not what's the title?
Maria said she's got 3 physical books on the nightstand and 2 on my Kindle plus 1 audiobook on Libby. So you got 6 rolling right now?
Okay, see, I am not as crazy as I think you think I am. There are other people who operate similarly.
But the question is are you actively reading all of them?
Yeah, do you dedicate a specific amount of time to each of them equally, or are there one or two that stand out for you that you feel like you're reading more often than the others?
Because a book on Goodreads you haven't read in 6 months still says currently reading.
Yes.
Like you're currently reading it because you're still reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Monet said the title is called The Apple Tree.
Okay.
Oh, great, by Jewel E. Ann.
All right. I've not heard that one before.
Oh, Maria said unemployment has its perks, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Is that, or you're unemployed, not retired? So I'm thinking that's not by choice. Yeah, I'll say I guess if you have to look, there's a bright side to that.
You have time to read. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, actively reading a book and just having it currently reading is different, you know.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
because when I go to bed, I usually I don't know. I don't usually read at night, but like when I'm choosing to read, it's kind of like which one am I feeling in that moment? You know, like I'll pick up this one or that one, like what I'm feeling in that very moment.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm tired, I want to read a book that's easier to read. Like one of the books I'm reading right now, I have to be very awake when I read it, just how it's written, and
takes more like brain space.
Yeah.
Like brain capacity.
And it's funny. Katie made a comment when I was reading this book before we started. She's like, I don't know how, because our kids were in here, our dogs were doing
like,
stuff.
I can't do that.
My son had like music going, and she's like, "How are you reading with all this noise?" And I've noticed this about myself. If I'm reading a book I really like, I'm able to zone out.
Yeah. So you already like it. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm able to like zone out a lot of stuff. If I'm struggling reading a book, like one of the ones I'm reading right now, every little thing distracts me, and it throws me off. And like, 'cause I need to be concentrating. But when I'm really into a book, I realize I can read it with
That's true.
Anywhere,
I
anytime.
have been able to do that before, but it is a bigger struggle for me in general, even if it's a book that I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
My happy time is like at night when everybody is sleeping, and that is when I get the most. That's when I can read the most.
What about when I'm snoring?
Yeah, I mean, I have to nudge him a few times.
Or when our old dog is
doing that. That's not peaceful, but I should say it's mostly quiet. Yeah. We have a sound machine. That's about all the noise that I have, and that is perfect. That is my prime time for reading.
Katie's very lucky. I can sleep with like lights on all over.
Well, and I do Kindle reading in bed too. I've been doing that a little bit more lately, but yeah, I still do read a physical book before bed a lot.
Yeah.
I'll do that down here, and then like when I'm ready to work, go to bed, but like I still want to read for a bit before I go to sleep, I'll still read in bed, and I have the lamp on, and he doesn't care. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah, I can.
I can do my Kindle, or I can have the lamp on for a physical book.
I'm a gifted sleeper, except for when I have that energy drink.
Yeah, except for when he's up past 1 a.m.
Tune back to the beginning of the video to learn about that.
You know what happened there.
That was new. But yeah, this has been fun. We've hit the hour mark.
Yeah.
Really good chat tonight. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll keep you posted if we get any books this weekend at the bookstore.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we don't plan on getting any. We got our Aardvark books today.
Well, we'll keep getting those monthly.
For this month,
so those are going to be.
We'll get 6 more next month. Mm-hmm. So
there's also something about going in person to places, though. It's like there's just something about that. So yeah, we'll have to see what we find at the bookstore a couple hours away, like you were saying.
Maria said it was kind of her choice, but forced.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't have to share. I was just I feel when you you said unemployment, I was
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess silver linings to everything. Yeah, I would love the opportunity to get some more uninterrupted reading time, but we are in a busy season raising young children, and so even though I don't work outside the home, I'm home with my youngest, and
I for sure get most of my reading done on days where I'm not working.
Right,
because I like to read during the day. Like
if our kids are playing really nicely and they're entertaining themselves, then like we can both kind of sneak in some like daytime reading.
Sometimes we'll get like afternoon Starbucks or coffee.
Yeah, just sit and read while they play in the basement.
And that's like
they have a
the perfect time
there.
for me to read. And it's all like the light, the sun's coming in, and you can see.
So we do get that from time to time, but it's not like I get to do that on a daily basis. Like I think our middle child was saying before we put them to bed, she's like, it's not fair that you don't go to school or go to a job. And I'm just like, hey now. I'm like, would you have liked it if I had worked a job outside the home when you were not in school? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah. You would have had to, somebody else would have had to be with you. So it's kind of funny, like perspective, I don't just sit around all day twiddling my thumbs or get hours and hours to read my books.
Maria said they okayed her for part-time.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about your
Yeah.
Spot back pain.
Mm.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mm.
Just finding work again. Yes.
Yes.
I hope you can.
Yeah.
I hope you can. But enjoy the reading while you have it.
Yes. Yes.
Enjoy, yeah.
Mhm.
Reading / looking for a job. You know, you can do them both.
Yes.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, thanks for everyone who's tuning in.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to awkwardly like step behind the camera
Yeah.
now because we did something different. But we, yeah, if you missed it before, we wanted to make sure it wasn't doing that weird thing. 'Cause you want to see all the books going the right way
I know,
too,
these are beautiful
and
books to
everything.
show.
So, but we are gonna contact YouTube and find out what's going on with that, so that like we can actually see ourselves and be able to see the comments coming through on my phone next time, hopefully.
We were so confused the other couple episodes
Yeah, it
ago.
was 2 episodes back to
when
back that did
someone's
that.
like,
and
you guys switched
we're like,
spots.
"What?"
And we're like, we didn't switch spots.
So we'll see if we can figure out what's going on with that.
So this worked out well though.
But,
It is a little weird, I can't see myself in there.
yeah.
But like, I think, you know, it's still working out. It's actually easier to read the comments on here.
Yes, because
'Cause
they
they
don't
don't-
disappear.
they don't, like, disappear.
So he can check them out that way. So.
But yeah, so everyone,
Mhm.
yeah, if you haven't watched our last episode of Beer and Books, we filmed on Friday, posted on Saturday, episode 6. I forgot what we talked about already. So it must have been really good. But yeah, one thing we always say is let us know for any ideas you want in the future for these episodes.
Yeah, if there's like a theme, like we can do some kind of themed episode, or I mean like talk about a specific subject, or you know, answer questions.
Yeah, it's always good to have just like some sort of main topic to focus on, and then we can answer the questions, show any books we got, update you on our reading. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
that.
think that's it.
Let us know. Hit the thumbs up. If you're watching this now, hit that thumbs up.
Yep.
This
That
thing
helps
here.
us out immensely, and
That would be great.
yep, if you've got time and you want to go back and watch other videos, have them on while you're doing the dishes and just listen, or you know, like podcast style. We obviously appreciate
We actually watched one the other day. It was kind of weird, but
like watching ourselves. Yeah,
you're like,
it was the kids were watching some of it with us too.
we were kind of
We were like
watching.
critiquing ourselves.
Well, it was fun. We went back and watched our first episode.
Yeah, it's like woo, bringing it
That
back
was like
to the.
it was like almost a year ago.
Yeah, it's
Because this is episode 46, and we've kind of done it about every week, so that we're nearing that year mark of doing these. And our first episode was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
You know, I mean,
We had not invested in a ring light yet, so the lighting was like really, really bad.
our quality
And,
is still not super good, but
yeah.
the first episode was funny.
But we appreciate you all being here, and
everyone who's tuned in from the beginning, we love you.
Mhm.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Continue to come back next week.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yep.
Bring a book and a sparkling
Well,
water.
and we'll probably have another beer and books before next week too. We'll film on Valentine's Day. We're gonna be home, just having a date night at home. So.
Maria said maybe something with the kiddos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like have our kiddos be on, or like feature them in some way, or like, but yeah, let us know what you're thinking with that.
Yeah. But yeah, we
could share some
love
of their favorite
ideas.
books. Yeah.
We love ideas, but or else we just blabber about books, which is cool too.
Yeah, we weren't really sure what else we were going to talk about tonight, like after we showed our aardvark books, so it worked out. We just kind of naturally, like
Sometimes
organically
they
had
said,
some
like,
conversation. So
just go to the bookshelf, pull a stack down, and
just
we'll
start
talk
talking
about them.
Yep, that works too.
Because all these ones
We have
behind us,
plenty of books to talk
we
about.
have not read
always.
and like I forget what we have sometimes, so we gotta pull them off.
Yep.
Read the synopsis, add it to the TBR.
Remind ourselves like why we purchased that book at one point. Like, oh yeah, I really should read this.
Or try to remember where we got it.
Yeah,
It's a
that
fun
too.
Alright, that's enough.
All right, we will talk to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.